Hello, boys and girls. How's it going? You are now listening, if you're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and Podbean, and watching, if you're looking at all this gorgeousness on YouTube, Peter Talks Smackdown. And this Peter Talks Smackdown is episode 40, the big 4-0. And it won't be the last of them. And before I move forward, I will say the best thing to do is ignore the haters. Just ignore them. Don't call them out. Don't give them any fame. Nathan. Sorry about that. Got something caught in my throat. But yes, you are now tuned in to Peter Talks Smackdown. And my God, I don't know what it is about the state of the WWE sometimes. It'd be moments where things are like cool and we get like a couple of great shows. And then there are things that are just really bad. And it ain't even like the shows. It's just how everything is done. And if you were listening to Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling episode 68, man, I really did come off really harsh. And I came off harsh to even Jake. Jake has the right idea to a certain degree to sort of look at the bright side of things. And since I've been doing this podcast, that's been my motive. To actually look past a lot of bullshit and sort of look at what we have in front of us and then sort of point out the positives in it. You know what I mean? But then, over the past couple of months, because I've been doing this, I guess that's episode 68, so like a year and a couple of weeks now, you start paying more attention to things. And I guess this happens, when you're in the podcast business, in the podcast world. You start to analyze things. You have fan podcasts, you have analytical podcasts, you have, a whole bunch of different types of podcasts that exist. But I don't care who you are and your motives of doing a podcast, you become way more analytical. You start looking at things, and things, you start talking about things that make sense to you and what's best for business, which we all know that saying. Now, I've never booked a wrestling show in my life, and I imagine those listening have never booked a wrestling show. So when you hear me talk about things and I try never to fantasy book. I think that's a waste of my time. It's fun, but people, we've all fantasy booked a little. I don't like to, but you haven't booked a show. And whenever I come off and it seems that I feel that I know better, it's not that I think I know better. It's just as long as I've been alive and always looking for forms of entertainment, I'm always in a situation where I'm like, well, I like this for these reasons. It's not that I look at other bad things, things that I find bad and try to talk my way into making them better. It's like, no, I just don't consume it. I just go like, oh, this sucks. I'm out. Whether it's a song, whether it's an artist, whether it's a movie, whether it's a show, I go, hey, I don't like this. I'm out. But for wrestling, I love wrestling, man. And we all fucking love wrestling. We want to, just sit back and fucking, either grab some popcorn, crack open a beer, something, and just enjoy, whether it's an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour program of wrestling. Good storylines. We got the right people pushed up front, and things of that nature. But we don't get that here in the WWE. We don't get it here in the WWE. You just don't. And thank God for New Japan. And thank God for, reruns of Lucha Underground. They got season 2 coming out real soon. And thank God for ROH. And thank God for NXT, even though it's developmental and, it's not the greatest thing. I mean, most people like to think it's the greatest thing ever. And I go like, no, it's not. It still has its moments. But it's an alternative. It's an alternative to the mega company, which is the WWE. And the mega boss, who is Vince Kennedy McMahon, and what his vision of sports entertainment and what's to entertain us is just not really cutting the mustard. And it seems like we're all bitching and moaning and ganging up, and I go like, no, I don't think we're having fun talking shit about this product. We hate talking shit about this product. We watch every fucking week. Every Monday we watch this fucking show. The hell? We watch Raw. A lot of us don't watch SmackDown, but a lot of us do. You got some people who watch Superstars. You got people who watch Main Event. And then a lot of us go to the fucking WWE Network and we watch the old, Attitude Era and like the fucking Golden Era and all that stuff. We watch all that stuff because we're fans of wrestling. So when we get out and we start talking about, well, this is stupid, this storyline is stupid, this person should get a push, this person should get a push, this person should go away. It's like because we want to continue to enjoy watching this. And if we can somehow bitch and moan, it lessens the pain of actually having to watch this crap. Just a SmackDown and just a Raw alone, that's my God, that's 5 hours. And then if you throw in NXT, that's 6 hours. And if you throw in Main Event, that's 7 hours. 8 hours including Superstars. That's 8 hours of content on a weekly basis. It's too much when the product is bad. And I mentioned something last Wednesday about not watching Raw live anymore. And I may keep to my word. I may just have to check up on the Hulu or what have you and get rid of the Peter Raw recap. And I said it out of frustration because I really do enjoy doing the podcast and have seen the show. But if we're going to go into the next year with this shitty landscape of a fucking wrestling business, I may have to, my time is valuable. Your time is valuable. We're better than this. We're better than having to be reminded how dumb we are and how gullible we are and how spoon-fed we should be. It's an insult to our intelligence. It really is. The WWE is insulting our intelligence to a certain extent on a weekly basis for hours on end. And I enjoy doing the podcast again, and I don't want to short you guys on these reviews. I don't. But man, it's tough, man. It's real tough. And with 8 minutes into lip service, let's talk about this SmackDown. And this SmackDown is from Hershey. We were just talking about that Wednesday for Peter's Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling 68, where it's like, Pittsburgh was in Raw. Raw was in Pittsburgh, and Hershey is has a strong wrestling history. And I turn, he's like, well, shit, why weren't they in Hershey? I go, because Hershey's SmackDown now. And sure enough, Hershey's SmackDown. They should make a candy bar. Hershey's SmackDown. Well, anyway, we get a uberly long as fuck review. Not necessarily a review, but a recap on Raw, like what happened, the storyline from last Monday, and the creation of the League of Jobbers. League of Nations, and how the odds are just stacked against Roman Reigns. This is I mean, I don't even remember them going into a Raw rewind, because this was the entire rewind in just the intro alone. But we start off with who I like to call, people like to call it the Roman Empire. Like, nah, these guys are the Rain Men to me. The Rain Men. The Rain Men are Roman Reigns at the fucking helm. You got Dean Ambrose, the glorified cheerleader. And then you have the Usos, who are just twins. And they're all in the ring, and Roman Reigns is talking. He's giving way more talk time on SmackDown if you've been watching the show. But he just talks about family and how him and the Usos grew up doing everything together, and how Dean and him didn't really know each other that well and became great friends, whatever. Just a bromance. And, oh, God. Sheamus comes out. He shoots on Sheamus, and then he calls Sheamus out. Like, come out, I want to fight. He says the same thing every time. I'm here to fight. You want to fight? Fight, God, fight. And then he comes out, and it's like him and the League of Mid-Carders. And I swear to God, we all know that Rusev is part of the crew. We don't really know why he's joined the crew, but he's in the crew. Why Sheamus and I think why Sheamus and Wade Barrett teamed up. They teamed up when he was feuding with Neville, or something of that nature. They both wanted to just bully up on Neville. But we need to make it clear about why those guys are partners. And lo and behold, you got a new person in Alberto Del Rio, who's why. I don't. We always want to know why. What's a wrestler's purpose? What's their motivation? Like, what gets them going? Why are they in the business? And then any decision that they make moving forward in their careers, like, why? Well, what's the purpose of that? What is the kickback from doing certain things? The payoff. Can someone please explain to me why Del Rio is part of the League of Mid-Carders? Like, what? Like, how? Was any backstage thing done where you saw Sheamus and Rusev and Barrett talking to him backstage? Is there something online that I missed? Like something from the WWE website or something from the YouTube page? A video of them talking to him or something? Like, I completely missed why he's in this crew. So if anybody knows, if anyone has any inclination to why this motherfucker is part of the League of Mid-Carders, just hit me up. Tweet me at PJTW Central. We get USA chants and a really funny quote from Sheamus, probably the best part of the night, where it's like, no, we got green cards. We're legal. We're legal. This is not a USA thing here, okay? We're legal. We're good. Not Rusev. Rusev's still working on his. And I thought that was pretty funny. And then you see you pay. I tuned it out. I wasn't even paying attention because it's such a dumb idea that at first glimpse, I just completely ruled it out. And he brought it up. The Sheamus. Was it Sheamus that brought it up, or was it the Roman Reigns? He pointed out he's wearing the Sheamus 515 shirts, and I just thought, oh shit, he is wearing the shirts. Oh God, I hope no one buys that shirt. I hope no one buys that shirt. Please don't buy it. And what they do is they set a 4-on-4, right? They go, check this shit out, right? Since y'all want to talk shit on the in the ring, and Ambrose is just being weird in the ring, and the Usos are like just standing in various poses from time to time. They set up 4-on-4. The League of Mid-Carders versus the Rain Men. And then the New Day come out, and I'm like, oh man, the fuck? Why are they coming out for? Okay, I think I'm over the New Day right now. We liked them; they were awesome. But I think what's happening right now is that they're getting shoved down our throats, and we're forcing to hate them, and not hate them in a heel format, heel sort of manner. I don't see him as. I know. I'm wearing thin on him. It's like New Day overload, and maybe that's the point because even their mannerisms, and even after they shoot on the idea, because they're talking about how Roman Reigns is a ruiner. It's like, no, Vince McMahon is a ruiner of your fucking New Day gimmick. So they put out the thing saying that, look, in order for this 4-on-4 to take place, we gotta have a 3-on-3 with Dean Ambrose and the Usos. And if you lose this match, you will not take part in the 4-on-4. All right? This is the stipulation. And they're just obnoxious. It's too much. It's too much. That's the opening fucking segment. We get Breeze versus Neville and Ziggler on commentary. And it's funny because he's kind of calling the match and he's pretty fucking good. He has a future at calling matches. Just putting it out there. Dolph, if it doesn't work out, you got to retire early. Yeah. You have a future behind the commentator's booth. Color commentary. Like, yeah. Well, anyway, it's a decent enough match. We get a running shooting star. That was pretty cool. We get a bunch of super kicks. We get a super kick out of nowhere from Breeze, and then we get this one ridiculous super kick from Neville as Breeze kind of rolls off the referee. But what happens is Tyler Breeze gets powder as Neville climbs to do the red arrow after that super kick. And then he comes back down. He gets back in, Tyler Breeze gets back into the ring. Oh, he's thrown back into the ring by Neville. Summer Rae gets up on the apron, distraction to a foot to the face by Breeze. And then we get the kill switch, which is, he's calling the unprettier. What is it? The unprettier. No, just call it the kill switch, please. They'll be changing shit up. It's the kill switch. If it looks like a kill switch, it smells like a kill switch, it fucking tastes like a kill switch, and 9 times out of fucking 10, it's a goddamn kill switch. Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, they're building this dumbass feud, this Even Stevens ass ill-proper booking of this feud. Just get it over with and make them a tag team, for crying out loud. Please. But it's good to see Summer Rae earning her money. She did all right. In the back, we got Becky Lynch with JoJo and braided pigtails. No Brother Zone. And basically, Lynch is in denial. Like, she's in complete denial about the relationship, the friendship that she has with Charlotte Flair. And then Fox and Brie coming off their babyface fucking appearance on Raw. Now they're assholes to Becky Lynch. I thought we were supposed to feel sympathy for Brie. We're supposed to feel sympathy for Alicia Fox. Getting their ass tore up by Team Bad. Nope. Sorry. They're assholes. And then Charlotte Flair, the jerk, shows up. And it's like, yo, I got your back. So we got a bitch in denial. We got heels out of, whatever, dude. And then we get a jerk. Fuck off. I normally write my notes on my phone, but I left my phone in my friend's car, so I had to write it on paper. But we get to the match, and it's Becky Lynch versus Brie Bella with Fox and Flair at ringside. And you got the new bad, not the New Day, because they fucking, the New Day's working out fine. Let's just have the fucking Team Bad act like the New Day too. It's great. It's awesome. They're in the back with a fucking pinata. Why? I have No idea. It had a wig on it. I don't even think they went back to it. Weird. At some point, I guess the match is going on. At some point, there's a moment where Brie I think Flair is near she's too close to the apron. And I think the scuffle between Becky Lynch and Brie Bella ends up elbowing Charlotte Flair in the face. Charlotte Flair falls, and then the disarmor is put on to Brie, and she's about to tap out, but Charlotte Flair runs in the ring and just takes it to, gives Brie Bella the business. It's like, she hit me. So she caused her the match. No Paige in sight, by the way. So Charlotte cost her the match, and they're bickering as Alicia Fox and Brie Bella scamper up the ramp. So yeah, we get more dissension and more asshole Flair. We get Miz and Neville in the back. I think he mentioned something about his ears. Santa's little helper. He wants to basically tutor. He wants to tutor Neville. Miz does, and he brings up, there's this one guy I used to, I was his tutor, and he went by the name of Daniel Bryan. So you have a unique look. You should let me look over you and help you with your career. I really think, he talks about his ears at first, and I'm like, oh my God, they're going to go there. They bring up Santa's Little Helper, what have you. They got to sell that Christmas movie, and I swear to fucking God, I know what's going to happen here. What's going to happen is they're going to focus on Neville's ears. They're going to focus on Neville's size, being that he's a short guy. It's the Christmas season. Elves, man. Elves. They can't help themselves. They're going to do that. Kevin Dunn is going to do it. Fucking Vince McMahon, they can't help themselves. They're going to fucking focus on the fact that he looks funny and that he will make a great elf. If they don't do it, I'm going to be completely shocked. But I'm telling you now, they're focusing on making a ridicule of Neville's appearance. And there's no coming back from that. So it's been real, Neville. Renee Young with Rusev and Lana in the back. And Lana's she's like, fuck it. No more of this, I guess, strong woman thing. And she's no longer with Dolph. I guess Dolph tricked her out. And now she got her dressing up like, got her dressing up. Got her putting on the black dress, the black lace. So that's what she's dressed up in, and her hair's braided, and she's basically all mush. I thought she was grand opening, grand closing on fucking Monday because, he's part of the League of Mid-Carders. But I guess at a distance, she's going to be around, and they shot on the idea of Rusev purposely knocking Ryback purposely knocking Rusev into her, and that was that. All I could really pay attention to was Lana and what she looked like. So we got to get used to sexy Lana, not sexy, like, conservative Lana or sexy fun Lana. This is sexy sex Lana. Like, she's looking like a fucking... They're going to dress her up looking like a damn mail-order bride. So stay tuned. We get the New Day versus the Usos and Ambrose. It was the Rain Men. They focus on, I think it's Jimmy's. I think it's Jimmy who has a bum knee. So they're focusing on the knee. He actually has that fucker taped up. So it's like, hey, big arrow on my knee. Right here, attack the fucking knee, bro. So I guess the match itself is, it's like a 50-50 match, No one really gets any real heat or anything until the knee is exposed. And then Kofi Kingston pops that shit with a Trouble in Paradise, and Xavier Wood hits the Shining Wizard and gets the pin. And if you remember, the stipulation is if the Usos and Ambrose don't win this match, they're not taking part on the 4-on-4. So we get a 4-on-1. Let's stack the deck on Roman Reigns. Oh boy, Super Reigns, man. So before the main event, we get the Dudleys versus the Dudleys come out with Tommy Dreamer, and then the Wyatts come out. Come to find out, this is a match between Devon and Bray. But when the whole thing happens, all of a sudden R-Truth is standing outside. And he's like, yo, what's up? He just waves at the crowd. He doesn't know how he got there. And then it gets dark, and then I guess he just goes away as the Wyatts walk out to the Fireflies. But that was pretty funny. I like how they're using Truth. I like Truth in this sort of thing where he's just kind of, oh yeah, hey, what's going on? I'm R-Truth. Oh boy. I guess it's a decent enough match. It's not a 50-50 match. I think Bray is on Devon more. I think it's like 70-30, you know. Devon would get his moments where he'd get bursts of energy, but Bray would shut him down. Just a classic like match, you know. But then he hits the Sister Abigail out of nowhere. This is Bray Wyatt. It's a short match, and he hits that fucking Sister Abigail out of nowhere. It's pretty amazing. And he gets the 1-2-3 pin, and then there's this moment where the Dudleys, Bubba and Tommy Dreamer is going to get into the ring to sort of get their guy, but Bray's like, nah, dude, I'm not done. He put some cradles on me again, and the Sister Abigail is like, don't you dare come in here because I'll hit his ass again. I'm just like, oh, wow. All right. They get the table. They bring in the table. They set it up in the corner. This is Strowman. This is Harper. This is Rowan. They set up the shit in the corner. And as they're setting the shit up in the corner, you're thinking that Tommy Dreamer and Bubba are going to bring out a table of their own. But no, there's kendo sticks under that motherfucker. And then they just start swinging kendo sticks left and right. Then the momentum shifts. And then the kendo sticks are broken. And then Bubba Ray is Devon. Well, what's going on here? Yeah, Bubba Ray gets strangled by Braun Strowman's big ass, and then Tommy Dreamer gets Rowan spears his ass through the table in the corner, so they're dead. And I guess we gotta have a tables match. Surprise, surprise! We have a tables match going to TLC because next week is the go home show for TLC. By the way, in case you watched the show. We get the LONS. My favorite hip-hop group of all time. I mean, other than EPMD's, this group called the Leaders of the New School. Busta Rhymes came out of that group. If you haven't checked it out, Future Without a Past, The Inner Mind's Eye, 2 great albums. But the League of Nations, I wrote LON. So I'm like, oh yeah, LONS, whatever. Oh, whatever. But check out Leaders of the New School. I loved it. Leaders of the New School. That's where Busta Rhymes is from the early 90s. Just another case of that OPTA. Check it out. Sob story. What's next? All right. Let's get back to SmackDown. So we get the League of Jobbers, League of Mid-Carders, the League, whatever. Jay calls it the League of extraordinary men. And he's right. Jay from Keita and Jay. Well, anyway, the Usos and Ambrose are actually banned from ringside. We find out like backstage. There's like a drive-by that fucking Young. Why am I drawing such blanks right now? Because this show stunk. Well, anyway, Renee Young goes in the back. She kind of pops in, is like, hey, I've just been informed you guys are banned from ringside. And then just bounces. Like, what the fuck? All right, talk about, like, bad news. I wish she would actually said that. It's like, I have some bad news. You're banned from ringside. But to get to the fucking thing, it's All right, here we go, Super Reigns. Let's stack the odds from here on out. 4-on-1. What you gonna do? I tell you what the fuck you're gonna do. You're gonna win. He wins via fucking countout. So what? I don't even think. I think I lift my eyes to watch that match maybe 3 times. Just with, okay, is this still going on? Because I know what's gonna happen. And sure enough, I think Wade Barrett gets thrown out because he's being a jerk. He's supposed to be a jerk. He's a heel. And then there's a lot of chaos outside, and the 10 count. Roman Reigns makes it back before the 10 count, and just cannibalize. Just you got to be kidding me. The League of Nations, huh? But after he beats the count out and wins via count out, he catches a beat down, and then the Usos and Ambrose come in with the save. But regardless of what the fuck, this is... Alright, so yeah, basically the League of Nations are a bunch of jobbers who are about to be cannibalized by one guy. And this is the first of many times it's going to happen. As long as... Because there's no way in hell Reigns wins this at TLC. The League of Nations got to last a little longer than that, at least until the Royal Rumble. You know? They're going to go out there and all these hijinks and this, that, and the other for TLC. And it looks like he's going to win, but someone else is going to pop up out of the blue. There's going to be a fifth man. Like, there's outside the New Day, because I guess they're all part of that whole bullshit, but like, there's going to be like an 18th guy come out and push him off the fucking stairs, and it may just be Triple H. And then that's when their program begins. While Sheamus basically is left to slaughter for Brock Lesnar, returning Brock Lesnar. We'll see. But, goddamn, TLC, this is good. TLC, Royal Rumble, fucking Fastlane. My God. We're in for some of the shittiest fucking programming as WWE fans we've ever seen. Ever. In a while. PJTW Central is my Twitter. Again, hit the subscription button if you're on YouTube. Also, add us to your playlist if you're listening on Stitcher, if you're listening on iTunes, if you're listening on SoundCloud, if you're listening on Podbean. Yes, we do have a Podbean. If you listen, if that is an option, yeah, this is how you can check out PJTW content. And again, you got Peter's Raw Recap, which is a YouTube only content. I normally do it right after Raw. This week, I'm going to have a guest. I think it's Nick Kettles is his name. So we're going to do a post-Raw discussion. That should be up Monday after Raw. We have the New Day podcast. Myself and Nathan Newman. We just talk about wrestling news. He's from Eyes on the Ring Radio. It's definitely, we just crack on each other and talk just wrestling news. The stuff you'll find on The Observer or some shit like that, you know. Then we have Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling podcast, which is the flagship of all this content. It's me and my friend. If you've been listening recently, you wouldn't think we were friends. But it's Jake Grandy. He also has another podcast called Faster Than the World where he reviews NXT. And then you have Outsider Interference with the legal man Mark Charles. So check those things out along with Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. And we just had episode 68. And the New Day podcast was episode 18. This is episode 40 of the... And then you have this, yeah, episode 40 of Peter Talks Smackdown. So yeah, do these things. Add on Twitter, PJT PJTW Central. Leave a comment on wherever you're listening to or watching. Thumbs up, hit the like button, or all that shit. And share. Please share this. I mean, if you like it, let people know. Say, hey, man, this is pretty cool. Y'all to check it out. Bam! New fan for me. So we definitely need more listeners over here at PJTW. So without further ado, I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. And you motherfuckers, watch out for those foreign objects. All right? Enjoy your weekend. Watch some football. And, yeah, be safe out there. Peace.